Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Melanie's Matters. Guys, you know I stay in the community and I love being able to bring things to you, bring subject and definitely bring people to you that you may not know about. You know that we always focus on artists and entrepreneurs and the matters of the community. Okay, so today I am so excited because guess what we have here? We have Miss Phoenyx. And Miss Phoenyx is going to tell you all about what she does. And I think what she does is phenomenal, especially to be a woman. But before we get into that, we're going to definitely have to take a commercial break because I have to say thank you to my sponsors.
Hello, I'm Jackie Arthur, sole owner of Lawn Jack Costume Karaoke and Exquisite Events. I wanted to tell you a little something about my fundraising Halloween party, October 29th, here at Paige's Restaurant and Lounge. What we're doing is dressing up as your favorite superhero or Comic-Con, and it's for a great cause. I have adopted 2 homeless families. I'm not so much focused on the monetary donations. I will start posting their wish list on my website and on my Facebook page. Again, Lawn Jack Costume Karaoke and Exquisite Events. I am asking everyone if they could just choose an item on that list to bring on October 29th. That would be so wonderful for those families. One of my ladies is 30 with 5 children. Her youngest child is 1 with retinal cancer. And for her, she has an apartment with very limited resources. If you could donate food items, pots and pans, underwear for the children, I will post their ages on Tuesday. Then I have another young lady who is 27 with a 7-year-old, paranoid schizophrenia. Again, she's homeless. Well, she's not quite homeless. She's in transition to moving into an apartment. But these women don't have anything. And if you go to the store, maybe some of you might buy a 6-pack, or maybe some of you may go to the movies. If you could just sacrifice those items for a great cause, I would greatly appreciate it. Again, the Halloween fundraising event is going to be October 29th at Paige's Restaurant and Lounge. You can reach me at 443-939-8533. You can also hit me up on Facebook. My website is www.lawnjackevents.com. My email address is lawnjackcostumekaraoke@gmail.com. I am asking everyone to dig deep in your pockets to help someone that has less than you. And then at the same time, you can come out and have a great time. You never know what kind of character I'm going to pull out of my repertoire. And yes, I'm extreme, and I'm sure some people probably think I'm a little crazy, and that may be true, but I don't really care about that. It's just all about having a good time and for a great cause. Thank you.
A typical journey. Women will relate and men will understand. You can get your copy on Amazon.com. This book will be coming to your nearest theater very soon. For more information, visit www.melaniesworks.com. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and we're going to talk to Miss Phoenix. So, Miss Phoenix, please tell us first, what do you do?
Well, by night, not even so
by
much
night.
by,
Okay, by night. Okay, you'll understand why.
By night, by recreation, by default, I am a comedian. I am a female comedian here in Baltimore, and I've actually done Baltimore, Maryland, the D.M.V. I've kind of shifted into moving up and about the coast.
Okay.
So not the entire coast, just the D.M.V. area. Preferably, I will be able to do the coast.
The coast.
And the other coast.
And the other coast coming soon.
In the near future.
Okay.
So, yeah, I am a female comedian.
Okay. So, why that path? Because I think it's a difficult path. I don't know, but particularly for women. So, why did you choose that path, or did it choose you?
Great question.
Okay.
Because the truth of the matter is, to be quite honest, I did not choose it. It chose me. So, to just put it out there.
Sure.
More than anything, it's a spiritual calling. And I think people who have seen me perform probably take away from the experience that there is no spirituality in it. And that's the farthest thing from the truth.
Okay.
In all honesty, I kind of did comedy as a dare. I've always been told, you should be a stand-up comedian, you should be a stand-up comedian. Jump out there, you should be a stand-up comedian. Oh my God, you're so funny. Even when I was, heavy into church and, very vehement and diligent about my experience with Christ, it was even said to me then, oh my God, your calling is, you should be on stage, you should be before people, you should be a comedian. And I never took it seriously, but I also understand that the masses can't be wrong. Though the mob is fickle, the masses cannot be wrong. Okay. People who you meet in everyday life don't speak things into your life, unknowingly, that are not destined to come to pass. So what's funny is I was working part-time, making no money, fulfilled, but still a little unhappy.
Okay.
And I ran into a gentleman here in Baltimore who is synonymous with comedy, Ricky Shackelford, and he said to me, hey, I am Baltimore's first comedian. My name is Ricky Shackelford, and I'm always looking for new talent. And if you'd like to, perform on my stage, here's your opportunity. And I said, you know what? I'm not doing anything. I'm broke. It's a way for me to get out, entertain myself, be entertained, still be with my friends. Right. He said, so, what do you think you would do? And I said, I'll try comedy. And I said he said, well, sell 10 tickets. I said, okay, sure, I'll do that. And I inboxed 10 friends. Good old Facebook. Right. I inboxed 10 friends and I said, hey, I'm going to try this stand-up comedy performance thing. I'd like for you guys to come. Please don't tell anybody. And those 10 friends all said, oh no, I got to bring so-and-so and I got to tell somebody. Right. And let me do this and let me be with this person. And I said, okay. Right. But don't tell anybody else.
Right.
So those 10 turned into 17 friends for my first performance. I was asked to give a 5-minute performance. I gave a friend of mine my telephone to do a video camera. And I said, let me know when I hit the 4-minute mark so that I know that my 5 minutes is coming to a close. Right. And it was the longest 5 minutes of my life.
Wow.
And at the end of 5 minutes, I said to her, what happened to the signal to let me know it was 5 minutes? And she said, oh, he said that you were doing really well, so just to let you continue. And my first 5-minute performance was a 17-minute performance.
Wow.
And I've been doing it ever since.
Wow. So what did that feel like? People had been speaking this upon you for a long time, and then you had the opportunity for it to come to fruition. So what did that, and then you were there and you was given 5 minutes, but it stretched to 17 minutes. So what did that feel like to you?
I never thought about that. So to be quite honest, it probably felt like I still had not made the decision as to whether or not it was something I wanted to continue with. Wow. When I brought my set to a close and, walked away, I walked towards my friends, and my girlfriend said to me in my ear, she said, just so that you know, we are not the only people in this room standing. The entire room had given a standing ovation, and
wow.
it was a humbling experience. It was the experience that said, hey, I just stood here for 17 minutes and more or less vented. And there were people in the room who resonated with what had been said.
Sure.
And they enjoyed it. And I think it was probably one of the most humbling experiences I've ever had.
Wow. So. Humbling. And see, and I always say that you said that you vented for 17.
But it wasn't intentional. It
right.
wasn't intentional. It was just kind of like because I had been asked to prepare 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 of it was
prepared material.
Was prepared. And the other 12 was elaboration. Wow. But what I didn't recognize in that moment was I just elaborated on the first 5. So, you know what I mean? It was all about me. It was all about what I was experiencing in that moment. Now, mind you, I was part-time employed and making no money. So there was a lot
that you had
for me to get out.
Right.
You know what I mean? And here it was, I didn't recognize it for what it was. It was an opportunity for me to vent.
But look at it like this. Now, you said you were venting, but you connected. It wasn't a vent.
Yeah.
It was a vent, but I feel like when you are in that position and you're on stage and you're in front of people, however you capture people, if you're able to connect to those people, they're like, oh my gosh, the same thing I'm going through.
It's me too.
Right. It's me. It's not just me. It's,
Yeah. And that, that's one of the things that I've learned to enjoy about comedy. Everybody needs that tension breaker. That get away from the monotony, as a comedian, a lot of times what happens is people will say, oh, I got something you can use. I got something you can use, and it's not to be rude. It's not to be, it's not that you don't want to use other people's experiences, but I've got enough of my own experience.
Understand. That's right.
I will get to everybody. I'll get to everybody. Trust me. We've all had those same experiences, just at different times. So for me, it's, sweetie, I can't take on any more issue, any more problem. I can't vent your problem.
Right.
I got to get mine out.
Right.
Give me some time. I'm gonna get you.
Right.
I'm gonna have your experience.
Trust me.
But I'm not ready. I'm not ready to share your experience.
Right.
So, yeah.
So tell us about your best performance and your worst, in your own opinion.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Wow. Okay. So my best performance. I can honestly say my best performance was probably 4 minutes.
Okay.
4 minutes.
Okay.
It was 4 minutes. Okay. And the reason I think it's my best performance is because it was built on inspiration. It came out of frustration. But it also came out of fear.
Okay.
I'm never nervous.
Okay.
I'm never nervous.
Okay.
But this one came out of fear. So my best performance actually took place May 7th of this year.
Wow, and you've been doing this for how long? Since
November of 2012. Since November of 2012.
So really, in your opinion, your first or your best performance was this year?
My best performance took place this year.
Okay, you got to elaborate on that. Okay.
So I was having an experience with... so let me just say this. It was May 7th. It was at the Baltimore Comedy Factory. Okay. And it was the semifinal competition for Baltimore's Next Stand-Up Star. Okay. I had the worst bout of caffeine withdrawal I had ever experienced in my life. When I say I had the headache, I had the nausea, I had the tension. My car had gone down. I was shopping for a new car. I had been out shopping for days. Wow. My best friend of 30 plus years, her mom was in the hospital. Dying of 4th stage lung cancer, and I could not fathom how I was to get to this performance, get through this performance,
Wow.
get over the headache, get over the nausea. And I was picked up from work by the dealership. They picked me up, they brought me in, they picked the car, and I said, you know what, I don't care. At this point, I just need a car.
Right.
So I went, I got a new car, getting a new car, I jumped in the car. I immediately went from the dealership to the Comedy Factory. The Comedy Factory, I sat there for about maybe 40 minutes before I had gone on, and I had 2 friends in the audience who had come to support. 2 friends. Despite the fact that I had been promoting and advertising, and that's something that happens in comedy a lot.
Right,
Despite
sure.
the promotion and advertising, you know, everybody doesn't come out to support.
Right.
People are selective about support. And I had 2 friends who came out to support that night.
Right.
They actually got there just as I got on stage. And I cried to another comedian that night about everything that I was going through. And when they called my name to go up on stage, I was the only female that night. And I believe there were 13 of us at that time in the semifinals. And I don't even remember picking my head up to look at the audience and do this performance. But when they announced the top 3 who would go on to the finals, I had won.
Wow.
And I felt like that particular night, though everything had gone wrong through the day, somehow I made it through to the next round. And I literally stood on stage and blah, 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 blah. And it was the longest, strongest 4 minutes of my career. Not so much for the competition, but because I was having such a rough time, you know. I mean, I had been maybe about a week and a half with no vehicle. At this time, I had friends picking me up, dropping me off, taking me here, taking me there, you know, because I refused to get on the bus. I think I'm allergic to the bus. You know, so I had, like, you know, friends dropping me off, people picking me up. I had just started a new job, you know, so it was like, ooh, what am I going to do? And I still had not been to the hospital in days to see this woman who was instrumental in encouraging me to move through comedy.
Wow.
So that was probably my best performance.
Wow.
Albeit I don't remember what was said. I have no idea what was said. Most of the time I leave the stage and I leave the words there as well. I have no idea what's said when I'm done. But because I'm an in the moment type person, and same holds with my comedy. When I'm in the moment, just go with it.
Wow. Okay, that was a great best experience. So what about the worst?
You mean that time that nobody showed up? You mean that time that nobody showed up?
Okay.
Yeah, they were, you know. My worst experience was probably, and I'm sure there's been a worst experience. My worst experience, I bombed. Totally bombed. A few times. I'm a comedian, it happens. So I never really see them as a worst experience. I probably see more of a best lesson.
Okay.
Best lesson.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Best lesson. So not so much worst experience as best lesson. Okay. And I think my best lesson was probably, wow. Again, this year.
Wow.
This year, I can honestly say. And not so much because this one stands out or because it was recent, but because it was a lesson that I didn't prepare for. I did a show down in New Orleans. I had an opportunity to perform for LGBT event.
Okay.
On a whim.
Right.
I mean, literally.
Right.
I met this person on a Thursday and they were like, oh, you're a comedian, can I put you on stage for the event tomorrow? And I'm like, yeah, sure.
Right,
you know.
right.
And I probably not so much took it too far, but I didn't do my research on that particular population to know what not to say, who not to, you know what I mean? You know, how much LGBT to put into the set.
Okay.
So that was probably, you know, it wasn't, and I, you know, I don't take any lessons hard.
Okay.
You know, I
So
take them
as a lesson.
Right, I take them all with a grain of salt.
Right.
You know, every day is a learning experience. You learn something new every day.
Yeah.
That day I learned that you might not want to put all of that in there.
Okay.
You know, sometimes, you know, so.
So the experience was an experience.
Yeah, it was just that. It wasn't the worst, but it was, you know, it was probably the best lesson I've had. You know, kind of like learning how to cater to your population. Because although your audience is your population, the audience still counts.
Yes.
You know, so you know when the audience is strictly that audience, you know, when the audience is not the mix that you're used to, you know, there's a difference in there being an audience full of, you know, individuals who represent this particular dynamic.
Right. So, and you spoke about research. Do you find yourself always having to research?
Girl, let me tell you something. Now check this out. Listen. I just spent the last 9 years, 7, 8 years.
Okay.
Between my bachelor's degree and my master's degree, doing research.
Hello.
Yeah,
we know all about that.
And listen, no disrespect to any population out there. Research ain't really my thing. I hate doing research. However, there are times when I will have to crack down and do the research. But I was on vacation. It was, you know, a show that came with 12 to 24 hours notice. I didn't plan for that. So I didn't plan for that. So, you know, because I didn't plan for that, I didn't plan properly and I didn't act accordingly. So, you know, that was something that I learned. Hey, next time, you know, do a little bit of research. Google it.
Right.
You know, Google it. You know,
that's our research.
Yeah,
that's our
mean,
research.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah. So, being a female comic, do you think it is harder for you than for the men? And this is a predominantly male-driven industry.
Always has been.
Yeah, always has been.
On both sides, black and white.
Okay.
So of course, you know, I have it's twofold from my perspective. There is there's the triple threat perspective.
Okay.
I'm black. I'm a female. I'm educated. You know.
Right.
But then there's also the and I guess, you know, it would be more of a, you know, I guess, I don't know, what's the opposite, a triple weakness? You know, I have the triple weakness. I'm black, I'm female, I'm educated.
Wow.
You know, so, and I had to, see, that's that good schooling right there. I had to think about strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Yeah, you know.
SWOT. If y'all don't know that is called the SWOT. You're done.
So I've done my SWOT analysis. I did do the research on that. I did my SWOT analysis.
I love it. I love it.
You know, so, you know, there's the triple threat and then there's the triple weakness. So as a triple threat, you know, people miss the mark. People miss the fact that I may even be educated when I stand there as a performer.
Wow.
People, and you know, I don't put my education at the forefront of my performance.
Because you probably can't.
I wouldn't.
You probably could not and be successful with it because of the population and because how people will perceive you.
Yeah. So, you know, there's a lot to be said for that, you know. So there's the triple threat and there's the triple weakness. So do I find it hard? Again, it's a lesson. I don't look at it as the hard or the easy. I look at it as the opportunity. You know, every opportunity is an opportunity for an opportunity. That's my theory. You know, every opportunity is an opportunity for an opportunity, because if I step into a room and somebody says, "Oh, hey, good to see you. Do you want to go up?" I'm now in a position to say yes or no. I'm now in a position to say, do I want to acquire a new audience today? I'm now in a position to say, do I want to entertain the same people today? You know, this is an opportunity for me. I'm I'm in an opportunity to, it gives me an opportunity to say, do I want to work on tailoring my comedy toward, the younger, the older, the more mature, the more seasoned? Do I want to look, so I see things for what they are, not so much what they could be. I have to, and sometimes I am just here to be in the midst versus be, at the forefront or, before people. There are times when I'm simply in the element to support or to enjoy myself, but again, it's whatever God allows. It's whatever God allows, because we started this conversation by saying that I didn't choose it, it chose me.
Right.
So in it choosing me, I can honestly tell you that I had a revelation from God in which it was spoken to me. Not just those people in passing, not just those people in my life. It was spoken directly to me that I wasn't to worry about it. So when God said that, I'm well aware that, he'll open doors that no man can shut. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. What they say, until then I praise him in the hall, but Jesus.
See?
Because people probably see my set and they have no idea of what my spiritual connection is. But that's not for them to worry about. That's me.
Right.
So, I'm good with it.
Wow. So let's talk about the future. Okay? You've been doing...
You mean Dirty Sprite too? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
See?
Go ahead.
See what I mean, y'all?
All right, go ahead.
Telling you, y'all gotta see her, and she's gonna tell us a little bit in a minute where you can come see her. But let's talk about the future. Where do you see yourself?
Oh, Jesus.
And we're talking to an educated woman, okay, who has gone through life experiences and has done some things, have experienced good and bad experiences. So, where, in assuming that you're gonna still perform, where do you see yourself?
Well, my 5th grade teacher said.
Okay, 5th grade
teacher.
teachers.
My 5th grade teacher said. Miss Stoops, my 5th grade teacher, told my mama, told my mother, or my mother. She told my
mother. We in Baltimore.
She told
mother.
She told my mother, M-U-V-A. She told my mother back then in 19 when I was in 5th grade.
I like that. I'm gonna use that. Okay, got it.
That she said, I expect to see her name in lights one day. And so my mother has always kind of regurgitated that to me. I still have a relationship with my 5th grade teacher. I still talk to her at least twice a year. Yeah, girl. I'm a geek. I still talk to my 5th grade teacher at least twice a year. So wherever the lights are is where I'll be in the future. Wherever the lights are. Wherever the lights are. Not Motel 6 lights. Like wherever the lights are. So wherever the lights are is where I will be.
Got it.
Yeah. And that's just based on, her as an educated woman speaking to my mom, and my mom speaking to me as the biggest source of encouragement, inspiration that any child could have.
Wow.
And then just the experience that I'm having now. So wherever the lights are, where I'll be.
That's where you'll be.
Yeah, that's where I'm going to be.
That is awesome. And I love that because, sometimes I think when we project ourselves, we project so far.
Girl, bye.
And it's really not realistic. It's not realistic. So I like that.
Y'all
because
heard that? It's not realistic.
It's really not. And that's me sometimes. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to see myself on.
But they say shoot for the moon.
They
land
say
among
that.
the stars.
But you still have to do day by day. You have to do processes. You have to do steps.
Yeah.
You
do.
And sometimes when we see that far off picture, that where we want to be, we kind of leap over some stuff.
But not just that. I think sometimes we look at where other people are.
Very true.
And I think in looking at where other people are, we're going, oh, that's where I want to be. Somebody already there. You know what I mean? I can't move into a house that somebody already lives in.
Wow.
So for me, it's like somebody already lived there.
I love that.
Yeah. I mean, I can't drive a car that somebody's already sitting behind the wheel of that car. You know what I mean? I may want similar. I may want something comparable. But I don't want exactly what you have, because then it's not mine. It's yours with my spin on it. Nah, I'll start from the ground up, and I'll do it my way.
I love that. I absolutely love that. So what advice do you have for women such as yourself? And I'm saying just women because I can only imagine that it's tougher for women.
What advice do I have for women? Wow. You know what? I don't give advice.
Okay.
I don't give advice.
What do you give?
I don't give advice. My opinion.
Okay.
In my opinion.
We got it.
In my opinion.
Got it.
There's some things that you don't do, some things that you shouldn't do.
Okay.
Don't sleep your way to the top. Okay. Because it don't. Sorry.
Yeah. We
right,
get it.
Right.
We get it.
Don't be on the bottom trying to get to the top. That ain't how it works.
Okay.
Start there. I know, it's 2015 and we doing whatever we got to do. There's a difference in hustler and, it's just
Right.
keep it classy.
Good.
More than anything, be yourself. Be yourself. I'm the same person on stage as I am off stage. Granted, you might get some filth, flooring filth. Some I can't believe it, some oh my God, type stuff, behind the microphone.
Right.
And I'll still say that same crap, but get to know me as a person. And that's what a lot of people, people want to be known as the comedian. People want to be known as the performer. Outside of the performer, there's still me. So learn how to separate yourself from the performer and, always put yourself in a position to be respected as the person more so than the performer. Because the performer is the one who they see. Mm-hmm. But understand that the performer is, like the author of a book. He wrote the book based on, oh, okay, this works, people listen, people read, But the author himself, you know how many authors are actually like reclusive? You know what I mean? Because people have this misconception that what's in the book is who I am.
Yes.
Sorry.
I'm an author and I understand.
Yeah, people have this misconception that what's in the book is who I am.
Yes.
So please don't take for granted that what I put out there, that's not who I am.
Yeah.
It's performance is a persona all its own. So yeah.
I mean, words to live by. Words to definitely.
You ain't gotta live by them. I gotta live by them. You need to find your own words, find your own voice. By all means, find your own words, your own voice. However,
great opinion.
Yeah.
That's a great.
See, that's my opinion.
That's her opinion.
In my opinion, you know what I mean? Do shit.
Right.
But everybody don't need to do it.
Right.
But keep it real.
Right.
All that keep it 100 out the window. Keep it 96. Save something for yourself. Gotta keep it like 96, 97. You know what I'm saying? Keep it in the 90s, but just keep a little something for yourself. Because if you give everybody 100%, what you got for yourself? Nothing. I can't do it. I can't.
Wow.
Nothing.
And I have one last question for you. Do you think that the game has changed? Your game, being a comedian, do you think it's changed? Do you think it's watered down? When you look at it as holistically, and other fellow comedians, women and men, do you think it has changed? And I'm saying that because I look at music from back when we were growing up, and I'm looking at music now, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So for you, has it changed?
There's definitely been a change. There's been a shift. And here's the thing, I don't even follow comedy. I follow what I like. So I don't follow trends. I don't follow, comedy, but I do know what I like. So from the era from whence I came, when Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd,
Wow, greats.
Eddie Murphy,
Greats, yes.
Richard Pryor,
Yes.
when these guys were out there and everybody knew them and everybody loved them, when they faded out, they faded out from a standpoint of moving into other things.
Nice.
They faded out from in front of the camera to behind the camera.
Yes.
So they're still there.
Right.
They're still, synonymous with comedy. They're still teaching, producing, directing, writing. Bill Murray actually has a new movie coming out now. But they're still there. But the change is more so in the fight. I think the change is in the fight. Everybody believes that they're number one. Everybody believes that they're the best. Everybody, wants to compare themselves with everybody else.
Right.
Why? You know what I mean? That's where the change is. There was a time in comedy when, there was more of a camaraderie than a competition.
Wow. Okay. This is good stuff.
Unfortunately, that camaraderie never truly transcended the integration of black and white. For a brief period, there was like a, black, white, let's get together, let's do the comedy thing, from, shows like Saturday Night Live and stuff like that where, black and white comics work together on the same scene, on the same set. Doesn't necessarily mean we on the same page. So, I think the shift has been in the levels of competition. Everybody's competing with each other. It's enough food for us to all eat. Comedians aren't necessarily the starving artists that people say they are. There's a scene for everybody. So just know what you fit in.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a great opinion. I say advice, but that is wonderful. That is wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, I must say that when I asked Phoenyx to do this interview, I didn't know what to expect. She didn't know what to expect, and I like it like that
I wasn't in the dress.
she wasn't. She wasn't. But I love it because you get to sit down on a clean slate and, just see where that person is coming from holistically. Because, again, I've seen her perform 2 years ago, and she was with Howard G. and Ricky. Right?
Yep.
And I saw it, I was like, oh, she is funny. She is funny. But you never know what happens behind the scenes. You don't know the person. Yeah. I saw Phoenyx on stage. I'm like, oh, she is funny as hell.
She heard
but I didn't know. I didn't know the lady, the triple threat that we have sitting here, and I think that's awesome. And this is why I do what I do. So, Phoenyx, tell everyone where's your next performances? What's
today's date? Oh, Jesus. Okay, so
today's like what, the 10th, I think.
Okay, 10th, 11th. So
yeah.
Wednesday, I'm actually gonna be with female comedian Ray Diva in Largo, Maryland. Let me post it on my Facebook real quick because I don't remember. Okay. So sorry. On the 17th, I'm actually doing a private party. On the 18th, I am somewhere on the 18th. I'm somewhere on the 18th. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Please forgive me.
We'll have the information on here.
We will. You can catch me at Haroon Lounge every other Friday. So the next Friday we'll be there is the 23rd, 24th.
Okay.
That's located at 5110 Linden Heights Avenue. We're doing Girls in the Hood comedy, all females. We're just, putting all the female comics out there. So get in touch with me if you can. You can find me on Facebook at Phoenyx, Phoenyx, of Baltimore. You can catch me on Instagram at Phoenyx, Phoenyx_Baltimore. Okay. And Facebook got this thing going on right now where they made me change it from my stage name to my real name. So my real name's out there on Facebook. Yeah, I got you, Mark Zuckerberg. I got you. It's cool though. But, please go to my fan page on Facebook. Go to my Instagram. You can also find me on Crooked Streets Radio, in the streets with a Z. That's crookedstreetsradio.com. So, you find me, you can probably find me riding up and down the street.
Really. And she's so humble and so approachable. Definitely.
Not after coffee. I'm only approachable after coffee. I'm approachable
And we
after
share that.
coffee. Let me get my coffee. If I ain't had my coffee, please don't approach me.
And you probably could tell, you could tell, because I know this is up in the morning when I ain't had my coffee, and I'm just like, my whole facial expression is like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm bubbly all day, but I ain't bubbly until I had my coffee. But I'm always bubbly. See that?
She's funny.
Bubbles.
All right, guys. So you guys take care. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.
Deuces.
Thank you for watching Melanie's Matters TV and radio show. To be a sponsor, please call 443-790-6303.